Jamie, you are so fired. Huh? What is this about now, Gabe? I really don't care that you like to be all talk because you're the son of the CEO, but remember that it does not give you the right to fire me whenever you want. Nope. You have taken things so far now that even if I don't have the right to fire you, I still know that you're going to be fired over it. Huh. Is that so? I'm really sorry, Gabe, but right now I just got done talking about a very huge deal for the company, so my brain is exhausted. And pretty soon here, I actually have to go and meet with the people I'm making the deal with. So could you just forget about whatever it was that I did this time? Or at least talk to me about it tomorrow? Huh? I am the CEO's son and will be the next in line to becoming this company's CEO, and you're going to ignore me for something else now? This is a very big deal for your future company, and considering that these people I have to go and meet with soon are our customers, I think it's right of me to put them before you. Huh? Also, I'm not aware of there being any concrete evidence that you're going to become the next CEO. I think for the time being, you shouldn't say such careless things like that to others. I'm the CEO's son, which means I'm going to be the next CEO. As long as I am alive and well, not a single other person is allowed to take over this company. And if that's the case, then please only start to call yourself that after a formal announcement has been made. Now I have to relax a little bit before I go and see my customers, so I'll be going. Listen to me! Jamie! Mama! That guy Jamie, we can go ahead and fire him, right?
What? Jamie? Are you talking about Jamie from sales?
That's the one. He's being cocky towards me. He knows that my mama is the CEO of this company, and yet he never listens to me.
Oh my, oh my.
Go and fire his ass right now!
But there's just one problem with that, Gabe. In this day and age, it's not as easy as you think to just go out and fire someone without reason.
Why not?
That's just the way things are nowadays. If I'm to fire him for being a little bit impudent, then I'm going to be the one with a noose around my neck.
What? I would feel so bad for you, Mama.
Jamie has been very good at listening to me, so would you please leave him be this one time and allow me to handle him?
If that's what you want, Mama, then I'll leave him alone. I'll leave him alone.
Jamie, I'm aware that at the moment you are out of the office working with some of our customers on an important deal, but I just wanted to clarify some things with you regarding my son, Gabe. After you've given this a good read, please write me up a report on how you will be more kind to my son and will no longer antagonize him. Now, my first warning to you is this. Please be careful when you begin talking to my son in such a rude and bothersome manner. Gabe is not some new employee of this company, but the CEO's son. Also, you are a lot older than he is, so please be more open to the fact that he may not know everything about the working world. If you continue to cause my son issues inside the office walls, then we are going to have to talk about this in my office. That's all I have to say to you now about that, I think. I want Gabe to become an excellent employee in this company, so please do your job as a seasoned employee and be kind to him.
Hello, Alexis. It's pretty rare for you, of all people, to be texting me instead of talking with me in person, so I was wondering what you had to say to me. But now I can see exactly what you wanted to text me about. So you, Alexis, are the kind of person who would say such things as that? This all reminds me of the way things were back in the day when your father was the CEO. I'll be coming back to the office now. Hey, Jamie, listen up. Have you been doing my job without my permission? What? And what is this about now, Gabe? The only kind of work I'm aware of that you're responsible for is inputting some data into the company system, right? Yesterday, I wasn't in the office due to it being my day off, and today I've been over at one of the offices of a customer of ours all day, and haven't had any chance to pop my head into the office there. What? So there was no way for me to be doing your job these past couple of days. But your name is all over this stuff, and after sending all of this data out to one of our customers and finding out that there are a bunch of mistakes, I was torn a new one. What? You sent that data to one of our customers? I don't think you're supposed to be handling that kind of work yet, Gabe. And by the way, this customer just so happened to be the same customer you're working with, and they are not someone I care to even try talking to anymore because they are so stupid. Honestly, they're just pissing me off. So since this seems to be the only kind of customer you are able to bring to this company's attention, I'll have you fired.
Jamie, are you enjoying the ability to pick on and bully a new employee like my son?
As far as I'm aware, I haven't been picking on or bullying your son.
Well, my son was forced to send data to one of our customers that you had worked on and purposefully made some errors in. Also that my son would be blamed by that customer for the bad work and get yelled at.
And about that, your son was the one who went through and made all those errors before choosing to send the data without my permission. That occurred while I was out of the office, and you'll be able to see that if you have a look at the timestamps on those communications.
So now you're telling me that my son has been lying to me? There is no way my Gabe has made any mistakes.
Oh, is that so? I guess this is it for me then.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm just talking about myself right now.
Jamie, why did you just get up and quit like that?
Because I wanted to quit and leave the company. There's already someone else who'll be taking my place in the company now, so for the next 2 weeks before I leave, I would like to use all of my PTO.
You had been left in charge of a very massive deal for this company worth over $5 million now, right? What do you plan to do about that whole deal before you go?
There is that deal still, isn't there? Well, I made sure to leave all of that work with someone else who happens to know our customers over at Company A very well. I'd been putting in all my effort to make sure that deal went through and that the company would be able to make a good name for itself again. But to your son, he seems to think that they're all stupid over there and that I'm to blame for creating such a dumb connection to all of them.
What?
This whole thing with your son acting like such a spoiled child and never thinking anything through has gone on long enough.
But wait, Jamie, what about the $5 million deal?
I know what you want to hear right now, Alexis. Well, the only reason they ever wanted to make that major deal with us in the first place is because I was going to be in charge of it. But now that I'll be leaving and going to join one of the company's rivals, I'll be taking that deal with me to them and making it with Company A.
You've already found another job? And with this company's rival?
I've already been talking with the CEO there for some time now, and it seems they have no issues with hiring me once my 2 weeks here are up. And then I'll be able to get back to work on that deal I had thought out.
You've only just given me your 2 weeks, and yet you already have another job lined up?
Yes.
Tell me who you're going to.
Company A.
What the hell?
Since I'll be joining the very company I had plans of making the deal with, there will no longer be a need for those talks to take place as a customer-to-customer based communication. And since they've already seen just how well I work and am able to handle such things as sales plans, I'm being placed on their project team for larger deals such as that.
Don't you feel as though you've jumped the gun a little too quickly there?
I'm only going to tell you about this now, but I've been in talks with the CEO of Company A and their son.
What? Is that right?
I had actually been asked long ago to come and work for Company A since I was good friends with the CEO's son, But due to the fact that I was still working for your company under your father, who had been taking such good care of me, I had to say no to them and end discussions there. However, the CEO I knew and loved passed away and handed the reins of the company over to you. And then without even discussing a thing to the board, you hired your son because he's family. And ever since he entered this company and the sales department, he has been hell to deal with, as he's so selfish and so childish.
He's been hell to deal with.
And then seeing as he'd always run to his mama crying about the very problems he created with me, he'd try to make you upset with me so that I'd be fired. And once you started to come to me acting like I was to blame for all your son's mistakes, I realized that the company I had once loved under your father was no more. So I began to think about my options, and the one which was most prevalent was leaving the company and going somewhere else. Around the time I started to think about that, I was invited out to lunch with Company A's CEO and his son. And during that lunch was when I got that text from you and your son saying that I was to blame for that data being sent.
What? At that time, you were with the CEO of Company A and his son?
Yes. When they had a look at all the things your son and you had sent me, they tried even harder to suggest that I join their company and leave yours. I was already thinking about leaving, and so with that, I handed in my 2 weeks to you.
No way.
I've already talked with my coworkers about this, but there's a USB and some paperwork on my desk explaining my job details for those who'll be taking over my position next. Please make sure to have them go over all the information I left them about the position. Thank you for trying to be as good of a CEO as your father, although trying might be a bit of a stretch.
Gabe? You already know about how Jamie has left the company, right?
I know, Mama. Thank God we were able to get rid of that cocky jerk. Please praise me for doing all of that to him now.
Wait, that's not what I want to say.
By the way, he came by my desk before he left and told me there was a USB and some paperwork on his desk for me to start reading through. I'm sure that whatever that idiot left behind for me means nothing to the company and us, right? So, I went and ran all those papers through the shredder and wiped all the memory on that USB before I crushed it under my foot.
What?
Mama, please praise me, please. I've done such a good job, right?
What the hell have you done?
What?
Jamie went and took that massive $5 million deal with him when he left the company, and we have nothing now.
$5 million?
Jamie was the ace of our sales department here.
Huh? That bastard was?
There were a lot of companies that wanted to do business with us as long as we kept him around and left him in charge of the sales department. But now Jamie has run off and he isn't coming back. I should have known this would happen, yet I went and let my little boy's cuteness get the best of me and let the most important asset to this company get away. I have no right remaining the CEO of this company now. I have failed at the one thing I was supposed to be good at.
Mama?
I want to know, Gabe, why were you picking Jamie as the man you wanted to be enemies with?
What? He was, because he was getting close to one of the women I liked.
One of the women you liked?
You know how in the building I'm living in, there's that cafe on the first floor? Well, there is this freaking gorgeous woman working there that I've really been into.
Are you talking about Amanda?
That's the one! I went over to take a chance with her, but before I could start flirting, Jamie came in and got in my way, which pissed me off. They then both left the place together. Actually, they tend to be together a lot at that cafe, and always go home together.
He was both guarding her from you and going home together with her? And do you know why that was?
Why?
Because Jamie is Amanda's husband.
Huh? Jamie's been married this whole time to her? But they don't even share the same last name.
Amanda's been working in that cafe forever, and I don't think she's gotten around to changing her name tag yet since she got married. But now that Jamie is left to go to Company A, I'm sure that Amanda will be following him and leaving the cafe.
What?
And as for our company, if we don't start to seriously think of some way to make a killer deal with someone, then we'll have to prepare for the worst. That being bankruptcy.
What?
I'll have to start by getting all of the management together. Ugh.
Are you serious, Mama? A few months after all of that happened, as I was settling in with Company A and the new position I had obtained there, I got news that Alexis's company went bankrupt. After I had left there, all of the customers I made for her company started to leave, one by one, and that soon led to there being nobody left for the company to work with. Alexis and her management team tried to think of different ways to save themselves, but not a single plan of theirs worked. In the end, Alexis wasn't even able to get the company bailed out of their debt and was forced to close it all down and let the bank have it. Even that wasn't enough to cover all the debt that she had and would still have to owe around $250,000, which she clearly did not have. A few months after the company went under, Company A got a resume from Gabe himself, which surprised me quite a bit when the news entered my ears. But due to the fact that the whole company knew about how Gabe was to blame for Alexis's company going under, his resume was shredded and he was told to go away. Thinking that he had been treated unfairly by Company A, Gabe came to the front lobby of the company and started to throw a fit. He began by cussing out the lady at the front desk for not letting him inside to go and see the CEO. And then he began to throw things around like pens and a lamp, causing damage to one of the walls. Security was able to get him back outside the doors of the lobby and locked him out there. But that wasn't enough to get him to leave the premises. The police were then called on him as he stood there banging on the glass doors, and he was taken away back to his mother, who ultimately took him and herself back to her parents' home. Right now they're living with Alexis's mom and have both begun working part-time jobs in order to pay off all the debt they're in and trying to make things work. As for myself, I've been putting in the work at Company A and have so far in the past 6 months made 5 major deals for the company. They have in total racked in around $10 million in total, and because of that, I've been promoted twice and am now sitting as the head manager for sales here. I've also been given 3 raises and am now making close to double what I was making over at Alexis's company before I left. I do feel bad for what ended up happening to the company I once loved working for. But with the passing of the old CEO, so passed the company that had taken such good care of me.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.